There we go. Okay. Alright, guys. Yeah, sorry about that. I forgot to turn the mic on after all that. So all I just explained is, yeah, it's caught up on me today. I thought I was all prepared after my concert yesterday and other things. I thought I could do it all. And then last minute I realized that I hadn't sent a notice out. I hadn't even sent out the live itself, you know, prepared it in advance the way I normally do. And then, you know, I was trying to... I haven't slept. I tried to stay up for this live instead of go to bed. And I'm sort of at that point where I don't know if any of you can relate, but when you stay up too late, you start feeling vulnerable. You might get the shivers. You might start feeling a little nauseous. That's kind of where I'm at right now. So we'll see how I go. Hopefully I can still do everything and my mind will take over. I won't even be thinking about how I'm feeling because I'll be too busy with our reading. But if it comes to a point where I just can't go on, we'll just pull the cards and I'll analyze later. We'll try and at least get that much done today, but we'll see how we go. Fingers crossed I'll be alright anyway. Alright, so I was about to start reading out the meanings. So we're starting with Mew as always. For May, he had scythe, house, market, child. So starting with the combination of scythe, house, get rid of a house, knock down a house, lose family, lose comfort, home wrecker, ending of a family relationship, ending of traditions, an accident in the home, harming your home, risking your comfort, or difficulties with a house or family. Then we have the combination house and market, as I pointed up to before. They're all up here if you're wondering, and also on the screen. So house and market, sell a house, buy a house, negotiate about a house, a home or family business, private versus public, suggesting the need to bring something private into the public eye. Now there's a lot of possibilities for these. Just coincidentally they are dealing with a house at the moment, one way or another, so that's interesting. Hi Kelly, how are you? Not the best actually, but we'll see. Well, hopefully I can get through this. Moving on, market, child, adopt a child, work with a child, open a new business, small or unimportant business, negotiations or transactions. Scythe, market, shut down a business, cancel a deal, a sudden change or abrupt ending of a job or employment situation, a swift and sharp decision regarding finances or business, or an accident at work. And lastly, scythe, child, endanger a child, an injured child, danger from inexperience, fresh start, possibly too soon, as in like jumping from one relationship to another, deciding to start again, ending one thing so that you can have a new start with something else, or if it's like literally about a child, there's like abortion, C-section, or plans to have a child cancelled. And then house, child, a new family or family member, child in family, youngest child, a new house, conflict between new and familiar, and fragile foundations. Now for this one I kind of took two views. I took in MewGulf's favour and I took in the business partner's favour. That's really all I could cut it down to in the end. So in MewGulf's favour, I I said, it sounds like Mew will be facing some kind of loss regarding a house or family. I don't believe it will be his family though, more like he will lose his place in Tul's family, and the contracts, deals and current plans for future developments will be cancelled. Scythe House. This will have to be brought to the public's attention that the engagement and any further coupling plans are off. Also how they plan to deal with or split assets of their new small businesses, possibly like House Market. Perhaps Mew will start a new small business for himself only, like maybe that gelato place he's working with, that's something. Market Child. Then he will shut down or cancel or at least sign out of some or all of their joint business endeavours. Haven't heard much about such things like OneSkin, the cream, for example. Yeah, it just they've sort of gone quiet a lot on the latest stuff with all the early business matters. So that he can have a new start, possibly with golf. Hopefully not too soon or before he's ready though. I said that because of Scythe Child saying it could be like jumping into a relationship too soon. And work towards having his new dream family, partner, life again, this time in alignment, House Child. And then the other way, from the other angle, in the business partner's favour, perhaps this is simply talking about losing or selling their current house or apartment or one of their businesses. When I say current house, I meant like the one they keep talking about being in progress, being built. Perhaps they are negotiating about selling one or both of their condos or one of their small businesses and disagreeing over whether to tell the public about the sell. Maybe, House Market, sorry. Maybe in regards to like someone being a fan, getting a chance to buy their old condos or business. Maybe it's about that. They don't know if they want to do that or not. The indecision is most likely to not let it become public knowledge and to sell the property as quickly and quietly as possible. Scythe Market. Scythe is like sudden. So like it would be so sudden that you would hear about it long after it's done, or you would hear about it before anything can be changed. Then perhaps they will both stop opening up new businesses, nurture what already exists, and focus on their new life as a soon-to-be couple, including plans for a family in the future, House Child. But most likely the idea of having children will once again be ignored or eliminated from the plans. Or maybe their new property comes with conflict and discomforts that leave them on shaky foundations, Scythe Child. So while I tried to make it in their favour, even if it is in their favour, they have problems and obstacles they're working through anyway. Okay. Alright, so far so good, I suppose. Let's get on with it. So let's pull the cards from you. Yeah, I'm a night owl, but I'm not an all-nighter. Anyway, alright. So, little deck, can you please tell us what is in store for Mew Superset this coming month of May, please? What is in store for Mew Superset this coming month of May? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So, what is in store for... Let me just put all the cards out. What is in store for Mew this month of May? Starting with the center, the Divine Cross, fill in the corners, okay, let's see what we're working with today. Oh, I just realized that's, yeah, have to pull that back a bit there. That's better. Alright, so what are we centered around for the month of May for Mew Superset? Oh, look at that. The Stork. The Stork. That's carrying on from our last reading about there's movement, possibly moving on, or just moving forward. So that's interesting. A lot of broad readings, I'll call them, like readings that are just reading for the signs in general, not for a specific person, have been talking about it being a big move for Aquarius this month of May. So that's interesting. That fits. Alright, and where does it all start, this movement? Moving forward or moving on? Where does it all start? The messenger, the rider, news of some kind. Okay. Interesting. And where does it end? Bed, comfort. Well, that's better than we've had in a long time for Mew, that outcome. That means that he will end up feeling comfortable finally at the end of whatever this move is. So that's good. As the last few months have been very shifty, and we haven't known if he's happy or not, right? Alright, and what are the other corner cards? Bouquet. Okay, so either something to do with beauty or a gift, maybe even something to do with fans. Interesting. Alright, and the last corner. Oh, Spirit. Spirit is here. That's intriguing. Now, without turning the other cards over first, message or news. With bouquet means good news, so good news about something that either hasn't been seen or something that is meant to happen is going to bring comfort. Sounds hopeful, doesn't it? But I'm not gonna go anywhere. I'm thinking this card, because this is the joining card for these three. This will probably be the telltale of what's going to happen here. Hello. I can't translate, sorry. I don't know what you're saying there. But thank you for coming. Okay, so let's start up here with this card. Bear. Ooh, bear. Bear is big news. Bear is a big deal. Or can be protection as well, but it's something. That's interesting. Ooh, so news or a message about something big, but it's good news. It's something big, it's good. It's something good for Mew, anyway. Okay. And this one, fish. Fish. So this could be simply about, like I said in the summary, possibly closing or leaving some of the business matters. Okay, and this one, Tower. Maybe it's going to be a change in employment or a change in work. Or Stalk and Tower like that could be possibly going into isolation or becoming single again, perhaps. Add a stretch. And the last card, Lily. With Lily there, could be an early retirement. That's interesting. Alright guys, I really don't know how I'm gonna go today, so I think what I'm going to do is, you've seen the cards I've pulled for Mew. I'll leave it at that for now, and I will sort of do homework and analyze what all these things can mean. I've already kind of given you an overview of what I'm getting straight off with the one cards, but what I'll do is I'll go deeper into it in my own time, and I'll obviously share it with you at a later point. And I'll move on to Gulf and Tul now, so we can get their cards out of the way. Then I'll see how I'm feeling. If I'm still feeling okay, then maybe we'll come back and continue with this. But I have a feeling I'm not going to make it, guys. I'm so sorry. Kind of irresponsible of me to think I could do an all-nighter at this age, I suppose. But yeah, my body's kind of telling me in its own way that I need to stop talking. I need to rest. I need to calm down. So anyway, let's just keep going for now. But I do want to. I know what I'll do. I'll take a photo. I'm not going to jump up because that's going to use more energy, so I'm not going to jump up and put it behind me today. I'm just going to take a photo. Hang on, just give me a second. I'll take a photo of this. Okay. And yeah, I can see that'll leave it at that for now, and we'll pack these ones up, and I will go into Gulf. So I'll go into the summary and read it out to you, and then I'll pull the cards. Okay, so Gulf. You know what I stayed up doing before this though, guys? I was showing somebody lots of MewGulf videos. That's what kept me up. That's what kept me up, ironically. I was doing, you know, they kind of opened a can of worms with me and said, oh, what's this about and what's that? And they just sort of had to share the whole kit and caboodle with them about, yeah, you see this. And funnily enough, you know, this person, they're not exactly a fan of you know, the community and everything, but they still watch the content and everything because, well, basically for me, you know, because of my interest in it, and they sort of wanted to know more why I'm so interested in it all. And they're looking at, I'm showing them photos of Mew and Gulf, and she's like, which one's is that's Gulf, right? It was Mew. She She was literally like, she knew them because, you know, I have a very broad, not broad, bold picture on my screen of who Mew and Gulf are, but she would get them mixed up. I said, yeah, that's what MewGulf does to you. And then I'd show her pictures of the other two, and some of the time, she said, oh yeah, but maybe, you know, might just be, you know, something. I can't even remember what she said, but at times, you know, she thought, well, maybe, and I was like, yeah, I suppose, yeah, maybe. But most of the time she would look at those other two in photos and things and be like, yeah, he doesn't look happy at all. They don't look close at all. You know, she would agree without me even mentioning anything that, you know, they don't look that close, and that it most likely is something to do with business. Just the fact, the way I explained it to her, that you know, the way Mew introduced this person, and then they started all these business endeavors. Just, yeah, anyway, enough about that. Let's get back on track, because I don't know how long my body is going to last. Let's see, Gulf. So May. For May, Gulf had, oh hang on, I haven't changed the cards. Better do that so you don't get confused. Change, so Gulf had Tower, let me get the highlight too. Whoops. Whip. And mice. Oh, tiny. Oh. Okay. So, May. Tower Whip. Authority continues to show power of abuse, creating distance from conflict, defending against aggression, official critic, joining a contest or competition, controlling your sexuality, gym, fitness center, workout. Whip mice, slowly escalating abuse, conflict is exhausting, conflict is dwindling, physical stress, stressful physical activity, exhaustion, that's me right now, criticisms causing anxiety, critical people causing stress, arguments wearing you down. And then Tower Mice, authority brings anxiety, stress over the government, retaining an illness, joining in on toxicity, an association causing stress, corrupt authority figure, dwindling authority, corporate loss, and university loss. Doesn't sound very positive, does it? But from what I could gather, I said this month seems to be quite stressful for Gulf. All three card combinations speak of abuse of power and authority, or even corrupt authority. If this is for Gulf himself and his work, it could be regarding... Whoops, what happened? Sorry guys, I clicked something. Where is it? Let me just start again. If this is for Gulf himself and his work, it could be regarding some form of work or a job he is doing. Now, just me thinking here, you know, abuse or authority or stress, straight away I was brought to the idea of from talking from a work viewpoint of the glimpse we got to see of his scene from his new show. He was doing a very anxious, very stressful scene. Maybe that's what this is all about. Not sure, but it could be. You know, he could be feeling stressed through his character, in other words, because we all know, you know, the boys love to act. They really love to get into their character so much that they live their character. They live through their character while they're filming, so it could be. Anyway, keep going. If it's not that, and more Gulf stressing over an outside issue, it could be the sudden luck the other side may have, or seems to have. Maybe it makes him question the situation again, or lessens his hopes of all this ending, and or of having a reunion with Mew anytime soon. Or maybe the opposite. Maybe it makes Gulf more sure that they're going to have a reunion soon. But Gulf then decides he has to shift his focus from work to his love life, or Mew, and maybe starts to decline work so he can have time for himself again. Maybe he also stops resisting the urge to show or tell people the truth and becomes less disciplined when the subject of his love life is brought up. In other words, he starts filling things. Maybe. Right, so that's what I had for Gulf as a summary for these cards. So let's see what Little Deck has to show us today. So, Little Deck, already I'm asking you about Gulf. It's a bit different today, but yeah, I'm only human. I've got to do what I have to do. So, please tell us what is in store this month of May for Gulf Kanawat, please. What is in store for Gulf Kanawat this month of May? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So, starting with the center, Divine Cross, and the corners. Okay, so for Gulf Kanawat this month of May, what are we centered around, please, Little Deck? Look at that. Heart. Well, that could either be relationship or something he loves. If it's something he loves, it could be his work. But it could also be his relationship with someone. Okay, and where does this possible love or thing he's compassionate about start? Same as Mew, we got news, messenger, the rider. Interesting, okay. So this piece of news that Muse was relying on, possibly the same for Gulf. Interesting, okay. And what about, where does it end? What's the most likely outcome of all this? Tree. Grow as we go, guys. Gulf, MewGulf, grow as we go. Being stable. It could also be, tree could also be a time of waiting or endurance, meaning he has to continue waiting. Possibly. But yeah, that's interesting. Okay, and what about the other corner cards? What's this one up here? Anchor. Most of the time that means stability. So that's a good sign. And what about this other corner one? Scythe. Scythe. This is like the Tower card in tarot. This is like the Tower card in tarot for the Lenormand what am I called? World. So yeah, something sudden or swift, or even just a complete cut off of some kind, or lessening. If it's regarding work, it could be lessening. Okay, four corners together. Some kind of news. Since Mew had good news, I'm gonna assume it's good news for Gulf as well. How my throat is going and everything, guys, sorry. I'm going to assume it's still good news because the anchor's here, so most likely, like I said, most of the time it means stability, so news that brings stability. News that brings stability to something that he was making a sharp decision about, or maybe anchor is stop. News that stops him from cutting something out of his life, perhaps, and continuing to wait. Could be that. Hang on, let me pull that back a bit, see all the cards. It could even be that. It could be that. I think we've said it a few times in the last few months that Gulf has been considering, you know, maybe just calling it quits and leaving Mew to it. Maybe some kind of news that comes out is going to make him stop thinking that and continue waiting, rather. Or the opposite. It could also be the opposite. Maybe some news that comes out stops him from waiting. Stops him from, what's this? Stops him from, the word procrastinate comes to me, but it's not really what the Scythe is, but sort of, it makes him change his mind about waiting around, let's say. Okay, so we still don't know if it's positive or negative just yet. Let's see what the other cards say. Bouquet. Mew had bouquet, and the rider and the bouquet together means good news. So it's some sort of good news for Gulf as well then, in that case. Good news for Mew and good news for Gulf. Good news for MewGulf. That equals, doesn't it? Okay, so good news of some kind is going to bring stability, I'll say. And what's this? House. Oh. News about a house. News about a house. That was in Mew's. That was in Mew's summary. And since it ends in the Scythe, news about not moving into a house, news about not moving in with someone, news about not building a house after all, news, some sort of news about a house being cancelled. Interesting. And what about this one over here? Lily. Mew also had Lily. He had Lily down here. Mature love is Lily and Heart, or love of elders can also be. Anchor Lily Tree, that's a very stable and mature bond, is what that is. Okay, it's getting interesting. I think I'm getting a bit of adrenaline from this. Looking a bit hopeful, this one. And just, I realised, in Mew's reading, wasn't it? He had the Spirit here. Spirit in the same position as Scythe. That's interesting too. Because that could link to the fact that whatever this is is destined to either be cut or to not be cut, because we said it could be the opposite. But at this point I'd say it is to be cut, since it's the house and everything as well. Yeah, destined to not work out, or not happen in the end. Alright, and last card. Oh my goodness! But you saw me shuffle the cards, right guys? You saw me shuffle the cards, and look at all these cards that Mew got, and now Golf has them. Small worry. Blows my mind every time. Okay, so the bed card was here. He's got it here. What was here for Mew? What was it? You remember? What was this card? It was spirit and bed. But what was here? I can't remember, and I don't want to try too hard, because I'm getting almost dizzy trying to think too hard. So I could look at the photo, but like I said, I'll probably analyze all this off camera, and I'll come back to you guys with all the answers. So, but yeah, even just that in itself, you know, that the rider, the bouquet, comfort, lily, that's 4 cards that Mew also had, so that's interesting. Okay, let me take a photo. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go straight to bed after this, guys. I can't do it. I need my beauty sleep. Okay. Alright. Did I... Hang on, let me just check I did that. Yep, okay. Okay, so we'll pack these up and I will do Tul last. Hang on, do this properly. Okay, so the summary first. Summary for Tul. Now, Tul seemed to have a good month, if I remember. Yeah, he had Clover, House, Lily. Hang on, let me get that up. Properties, Clover. Mice becoming Lily, huh? Where is it? There it is. Excuse me. Okay. Right, so for Tul, so Clover and House together, taking tradition lightheartedly, a light-hearted family member, homely superstitions. First thing I thought when I looked back at this was he was talking about doing that, what do they call it? It's lost me now, this early in the morning. Feng Shui or something like that. For, you know, checking the house is good. Is not there's no negative vibes or spirits around. Well, only superstitions. Lucky family charms, glad to be comfortable, glad to have a home, and prosperous home. And then house lily, old house, traditional sexuality, traditional morals, family during Christmas or celebration time, ancient house, consistently close to you. And then clover lily, enjoying sensual pleasures, contentment in simplicity, a successful time during winter. I don't think that's it because they don't have their winter yet. Antique charms, charming old man, lucky inheritance, business success, and lucky retirement. So what I got out of it, my summary, it looks like this month will be on the lucky side for Tul regarding a house or property, or maybe even one of the businesses he partly owns. In contrast to what Mew's cards were, it looks like whatever business deal, house sale, or lucky inheritance they are dealing with this month, Tul will be the more fortunate one of the two. In the Astro Clock reading, I spoke of them splitting the two houses in an agreement, because, you know, back then we were saying they had two houses. Suddenly it's become they only have one house, and it's going to be near the airport. Yeah. It keeps evolving, doesn't it? Everything keeps evolving, what comes out of their mouths. Anyway. Okay, well maybe that's what's happening here, and the house that Mew keeps talking about is not theirs, but his. And Tul will get his own house. Also lucky for him to have rich parents who can support him to buy his own house. Or maybe he's lucky to have understanding family who supports him through a breakup or hard time with his business. Okay. So that's what I had for Tul. We'll pull the cards, see what comes out, and then yeah, I think I'm going to have to make it short today, guys. Alright. So, little deck, what's in store for Tulpacorn this coming month of May, please? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Middle, Divine Cross. I feel like I did that different to the last one. I'm going, guys. Anyway. Alright, so what are we centered around for this month of May for Tulpacorn? Please, little deck. Letter. Letter. That could be contract or private agreement, private conversation. Interesting. Okay. And where does this private communication or contract start? What does it start with? Okay, interesting. And what's the conclusion? I'm trying not to jump to conclusions here, guys. What's the conclusion, or what's the most likely outcome for this either love letter or communication about love, or business contract that has to do with love, like posing in love for a business? Alright, where does it all end? Wow. That's the incense burner, guys. Oh, hang on. Incense burner. That's basically meaning Tul's got to clear his heart of possibly conversations said in the past. Maybe he has to clear his life of this contract, of this contracted engagement, let's call it. He has to clear that out of his life, perhaps. Okay, let's see what the other corners say. Cross, either a burden or its destiny. And the other corner, fox. The fox loves Tul, doesn't it? It must be his spirit animal. The fox just follows him everywhere in these readings. Right, well, okay, so perhaps this is, looking at it in the corners, it's like perhaps what he thought was love, and, you know, he found the one, is not, and he needs to clear it out of his life. Or perhaps this love has been a burden, secretly, you know, what their fans can't see. It's been a burden, and he needs to do some cleansing because of possibly all the deception, lies, and dishonesty that surrounds him and his love life, or his supposed or percepted love life right now, if that makes sense. Okay. And what about these other cards? Let's see what this one is. Dog. Oh. You know what that could mean? That these three cards here, he loves his friend. Perhaps he's destined to only be friends. Only be friends. Or perhaps he's remaining loyal despite the burdens, despite the trouble. Maybe. Alright, what about this card? Clouds. Confusion. There is confusion amongst everything. Well, heart and clouds here. Confused about love. Confused about love and lies, deception, not being honest. Okay. And this one over here. Birds. Birds. Now that could either be, as I always say, that can either be fans like gossiping, talking, like, because this can be the social media card, or it could be two people talking, or any form of communication. Perhaps these three this way, destined to have a conversation with someone that will clear the air because of the confusion over here, perhaps. And then lastly, this one down here, stars. False dreams, false hopes need to be cleared out of his life. Or gaining fame through lies and deception, which is what you'd probably call this contracted engagement, if that's what it is. He needs to clear the air about it. Needs to clear the air about it. And this is funny, because I remember in some previous readings, and also in my Grand Tableau, which I still haven't got out to you, and I'm sorry about that, guys. I am working on it. Tul is the messenger. You know, we had the rider for Mew and the rider for Gulf. Well, in my other readings recently, Tul has been that messenger riding the horse. He's been the one who is going to actually bring about the news. So the fact that he is like this, he's going to be communicating something about love or his love life that is going to clear the air. That has to be good news for MewGulf. Do you see how it fits? Do you see how it intercepts with the other two? Wow. I feel disappointed that I may not be able to go on today now, because this looks like it's going to be a interesting reading here. But you know, I'll still do it. It'll be in the edited way that I've done in the past. But yeah, I'm sorry guys, I feel like I'm at my limit, so I'll leave it at that, and I will keep talking and, what do you call it, no, I can't think of words I can't think of words right now, but I will go over it all in the video that I end up showing. Right now guys, I think I'm going to head to bed. I'm going to try and get some sleep before everybody wakes up. And yeah, this one's been short today, but I just can't. My body's shouting at me, you need to rest. So I'm sorry guys. I won't try and do this again. I'll be more disciplined from now on. You know, I have been trying to stay up longer on the nights before I do the lives, and I felt it the next morning. So I need to be disciplined and go to bed early on the nights before these lives, so that I can be bright and with it more when I do the readings. Anyway, maybe I'll pull some Buddha cards as well while I'm at it, just because that's what we normally do. And yeah, I'll probably talk more about them on the video as well. So I'll get these cards out. I don't know how the broadcast is going, but I'm recording as always, so if anything gets missed, don't worry, I've got it. And since I'm going to be editing this one anyway, I don't think there's anything to really worry about. Alright, so hello there, Buddha Wisdom. Can you give us at least 3 cards of advice for Mew Superset for this month of May coming, please? What is your advice to Mew Superset about this month of May coming in regards to the good news that is possibly coming his way, or the big move that he may be doing? What is your advice, Buddha Wisdom? I think I'm just going to count, guys. I can't wait around. So 1, 2, oh, there you go, there's one. Oh, another. See, they seem to have a way of doing things. When I say I can't do it your way, they'll make it happen anyway. Oh, look, it's 3. Okay, that's it. Won't worry about that now. Okay, so 3 cards. Advice for Mew Superset. We have, hang on, I should probably get them up if I can. Is that gonna, no, that's no good. Let me just turn these off. still on that one. Always hope but never expect. Come on. There it is. Oh. Uh-oh. What's going on? Oh, remember there. I thought it wasn't responding. Okay. When thinking about life, remember this. No amount of guilt can solve the past, and no amount of anxiety can change the future. Good advice. Not the first time we've got it either. Alright. Next. This one again. I had this one. In the end, only 3 things matter. How much you loved, how gently you lived, and how gracefully you let go of things not meant for you. Again, that emphasis of letting go of things not meant for you. Interesting. And lastly, at the end of the day, you will be at peace because your intentions are good and your heart is pure. So Mew's not a villain. Even though he may paint himself a villain through all this, in the future or in the past, he's not a villain. Alright. Moving on. Golf now. What is your advice for Golf Kanawat for this month of May coming? Good wisdom. Please tell us what your advice is for Golf Kanawat for this month of May. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Don't get upset with people and situations because both are powerless without your reaction. Good advice. Had it before too. Life will keep bringing you the same lesson over and over again until you learn it. Oh, look out. What's this? We had this last for Mew. The negative. Happiness does not depend on what you have or who you are. It solely relies on what you think. Negative for Golf. That's interesting. So perhaps, like I said, he's not thinking so positively right now. But suddenly, some form of news may change his mind. Possibly. Yeah. That's all I can tell you guys right now. Alright. And then finally, 3 cards for Tul. I don't think I'm going to bother with the Waanjai today. I'm sorry guys, I'm really spent, so I'm just going to do Tul. So, Tulpacorn, what is your advice, Buddha Wisdom, for Tulpacorn this coming month of May? Whoa, look out. 1. Oh. No, it didn't flip. What is your advice to Tulpacorn this coming month of May? 1. 3. first up, excuse me, sorry guys, first up we have the problem is not the problem. The problem is the incredible amount of overthinking you are doing with the problem. Let it go and be free. This could be about the problem of how Tul is going to come out to the public with this piece of news, possibly. He might be very anxious about it, you know, when the mask falls, what's going to be the reaction of the world. He needs to stop worrying about it. And then what we got here? Oh, sorry guys, it's really catching up on me here. Ships don't sink because of the water around them, they sink because of the water that gets in them. Don't let what is happening around you get inside and weigh you down. Again, could be what's happening around him, could be like all the deception, lies, dishonesty that's surrounding him right now and his supposed love life. He needs to clear the air. He needs to clear the air because it's weighing him down at the moment, let's say. And then lastly, prayer is when you talk to the universe. Meditation is when you listen to the universe. I've had this a couple of times. This could be like reminding Tul that, you know, he could be praying and asking for guidance about what's happening in his life right now, but the universe could be answering him and he's not listening. So yeah, could be that. Alright guys, as I said, I'm going to leave it at that. I gotta go and self-heal, to call it. I'm sorry it's been so short today, but as I said, I will get back to you about the cards and everything later. Thanks for tuning in if you did. And we'll see you in 2 weeks for the next reading. Alright, Waanjai on if you're a Waanjai. Bye guys.